Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and denominations, Loudmouth presents Off the Top Rope, the wrestling show that keeps you in the know. We are honored to have some of our trainee wrestlers in the studio at the moment. It is a good opportunity for you to meet them and for them to introduce themselves to you. WAWSA prides itself on local-based wrestling talent. And none is more local than our guest today, Starman. Sivu, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Loudmouth. How's everything going?
Yeah, everything's going well. Now, I just want to give you a little bit of background here. I give this man a hard time. I really do.
No kidding.
But I want you to know that this guy here has got a huge heart. As short as what he is, he's got a huge heart.
Now that's
So guys, I would like you to treat him with a little bit of respect. Don't be short with him and just take a ride with us.
Oh, you just have to add in the short jokes. Oh, really? You just had to add in the short jokes. I get it. I'm short, but come on.
No, man. Listen.
Size doesn't matter in wrestling. It really doesn't. Size doesn't matter. We're all the same size when it comes to wrestling.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Starman, listen. I give you a hard time, but I admire your passion and dedication to professional wrestling and your dedication to just being just one of the best ambassadors for Nelson Mandela Bay in professional wrestling. You made your debut at Wrestle Monster 6 this year in a tag team match. It was the first match going out then, your first match in front of a crowd. Explain to me how you felt being not only in front of your crowd, but making your debut at such a big event.
It was a very exciting time for me. It was one of the most exciting, most nerve-wracking experiences I've ever had to deal with, because it was my first match. It was literally the first step of my dream, something that I've thought about, dreamed about every single day of my life since I was a child. I mean, how many people can say that they had a dream since they were a kid and now they're living it as a full-grown man? That was, for me, it was so unreal. It was like a dream come true. I still am trying to process that it actually happened and it went by so fast. I wish I was out there a lot longer. Mm-hmm. So when I went through that curtain, it was one of those moments where you're like, this is really happening. Like, I remember just the last 30 minutes before I was supposed to go out, I was just thinking, okay, this is really happening. Because before that, I was just thinking, nah, this is going to be easy, because I trusted the guys that I was going to be in the ring with. Mm-hmm. I trusted myself that I was going to put on the best performance that I can. I felt like I was in great shape. I felt like it's going to be a good time, because at the end of the day, we love this. We take this seriously because of how much we love it. But at the end of the day, it's about having fun. It's about enjoying the moment and just making it last. And for me, I will say this forever, it was the greatest experience of my life. It's something that I will tell people about for years to come, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, that I got to wrestle my first match, and it happened on my home soil here in the Eastern Cape, here in Port Elizabeth.
All right. And then, unlike some of the other guys who stopped wrestling and started wrestling and things like that, you pretty much kept your training going throughout. How tough was it during those times when it was just yourself and TJ Tremor training and you didn't have a proper ring and, COVID happened and things like that? And you stuck through it. Did your passion wane at any time during that? Or did those times strengthen your resolve to really put yourself forward for it?
For me, it strengthened my resolve without a doubt, because I had no doubt in my mind that I was going to wrestle my first match. I just knew that I had to keep at it. I had to be consistent. I had to continue to train, because my goal was not to just be a good wrestler. I wanted to be one of the best. And the only way that you can be the best is to just keep working. Even though things might seem like, okay, it might not be happening and it might not get there, I always believed that it was going to happen someday, and I had to keep training and training and training. That's why the passion, and I feel like those sessions that I had with TJ Tremor was for me to learn a lot more from him, a lot more, because the focus was now on me. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I trained with others, maybe the focus wasn't going to be as much to me in terms of training, but those one-on-one sessions that I had with him, I feel like he did them because he believed that I could be one of the best. I wasn't just going to be a wrestler, because I've always felt like I had more to prove, just because based on my size, I'm not bigger than the other wrestlers. I'm usually the smallest guy. I always had the mentality of, I don't have the size, but I'm going to have the work ethic. And that's why I continue to push on. Every single chance I had to train, I trained. Even when there were days where I didn't feel like training, I always kept at it because I knew it was going to pay off at some day.
Right. And then at WrestleMonster 6, you got this opportunity to hang around with the British wrestlers and things like that. And I mean, Kobe Nitro is just a huge guy. I mean, Drew Marshall is a huge guy. Did you at any point look at them and think, oh, what am I getting myself into here?
Yeah, of course, those doubts really crept in my mind, but I was fortunate enough to learn from them. I was fortunate enough to have conversations with them and learn about what you need to do in order to keep at it and to have a good trail into the business. Even though I see these guys are like double my size, triple my size, I know for a fact they are guys that are professional that I feel like I could have great matches with based on their talent alone, not just on their size, but based on their talent alone. And that's what pushed me. Them being bigger just pushes me to try to be better.
Right.
You know, so the size thing really doesn't affect me as much. All I want to prove is that it doesn't matter how big or small you are. If you've got the love for it, the passion for it, you can do anything in wrestling.
Right. Okay, I get you. Now, after the break, we're going to go back to the Thunderstruck days. And I've got a match particularly, I've picked it out for you specifically to take a look at, because it's also a smaller guy versus a bigger guy. But a lot of the moveset is something that I believe, watching you train and everything like that and training you, is also within your scope to do in terms of professional wrestling. So guys, after the break, Siva and myself, we're going to be looking at a match. And we're going to be giving our insight into the match and hopefully broadening your horizons and Siva's horizons to look out for certain things. Right after this break, we'll see you then. Welcome back to Off the Top Rope, the wrestling show that keeps you in the know. My guest is a locally based professional wrestler by the name of Starman. Sivu, so far, now, you've made your wrestling debut at one of the biggest shows on the African continent, let's face it. What is the dream for you in terms of taking this forward now?
The dream for me is to reach the very top of this business.
Right.
My goal is to have as many matches as I can with the very best in this country in order to prove that I am the best. That's been my goal since day one, was to outwork everybody. Was to be the very top guy. The initial goal for me is to win the World Heavyweight Championship, because that's the title in wrestling. That's why we're in this business. We want to win the title. For me, it's about winning the title. I love the passion. I love everything about wrestling. It's just, it's different from everything else. So my goal was always to be the top guy, the face of WAW, and to try to elevate and leave the place better than I found it, to try to make WAW the biggest, if not the biggest promotion in the continent. That's always been my goal with being in WAW. That's been my goal as being a professional wrestler.
Right. Okay, now, in your training now, there's certain things that we ask of you to watch certain matches and things like this. And I'd like the control room to queue up the match that we got for you, because I believe this match here it encapsulates the small versus the big and things like that. And I do think it's something that, you know, we can look at and we can pinpoint, okay, listen here, we want to put you in here, we want to do that. So here we've got Joe Legend versus PJ Black. Now this is from the Thunderstruck days. So Joe Legend here is you know, he's been wrestling in Germany, he's wrestling in Canada, he wrestled in WWE, man. He's an absolute legend. And there we've got PJ Black. The son of the Pink Panther in WWE was Justin Gabriel. So, you know, this is an interesting match here, and I want you to watch how they start this match off here. So, there's the Joe talking. There we go. Crossbody off the top rope now. Now, that's something I've seen you do many, many times in training there. You know, this is a very nice small guy versus big guy match, and I chose it specifically for you. So, out of the first 10, 15 seconds here, what have you seen that's gotten that's gotten your mind working?
Well, what I've seen from Justin Gabriel is that he is somebody that is relying on his strengths. He doesn't try to outpower or outstrength the bigger guy.
Yeah.
He works on the things that he's good at, and that's the high-flying moves, the high-risk moves, to able to take down his opponent. As you see here, he tries to out-wrestle him instead of trying to play the power game with somebody that's twice his size. Is using all of these high-flying abilities, his agility, his speed, and you can see Joe Legend, he's not up for, playing into Justin Gabriel's moveset. He's trying to outsmart him, even though he knows how, quick and agile and athletic he is. He's trying to play it in his own game.
Now, PJ's taking some rough bumps here. I mean, there's a guardrail bump there.
Ooh, that's a tough
and we saw some of the other bumps there.
You see that I would never take. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's tough.
They're up in the scaffolding, and this isn't the entire match. Obviously, we've pulled snippets through for time purposes and things like that.
Yes, 100%.
Now, when we train, we kind of use this as a crash test dummy, and PJ was in a similar position. Yeah, he was one of the guys that took a lot of the bumps and things like that. Do you see a lot of yourself, as you see in this match now? Do you see a lot of yourself in his move sets and things like that?
100%. I've always been a risk taker. I've always enjoyed the risk taking part of wrestling, the adrenaline, the high flying stuff. I've learned a lot of things from a lot of high-risk high-flyers because, they're smaller guys. And when they use those high-flying moves, it's to try to gain an advantage over the bigger guy.
Yeah.
So as you can see, a lot of the moves that he's doing are moves that I practice, moves that I want to be able to master.
Well, this is why I picked this match for you specifically, because there's a lot of stuff in here that similarities I see between your movesets. Now, I don't know if it's a thing from you that you did, or is it just one of those things where you just feel natural doing those types of moves?
I just think they're really cool to do. Like, I feel like if I'm able to do something in the ring, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And if I have the heart and the vision for it, I can definitely do it because, it's wrestling. It's fun. It's risky. It's crazy. Yeah. And one of those crazy things about wrestling is doing those springboards, those high flying moves that get the people crazy. That's what I enjoy about the high flying style of wrestling.
Okay, and then. Because you are on the smaller size, do you look at more of the guys like Dragon Lee and Ray and Wesley and those type of guys as you would like, say, take a look at a Bronson Reed or a Braun Strowman or a Crow or somebody like that?
The thing I love about these big man, small, little matches, big man, small man, little matches, because it's just different. Because you can see it's a David versus Goliath kind of match. Yeah. And those David versus Goliath kind of match, it always goes into the favor for the big guy, Goliath. Whereas David, you got the people standing behind him, cheering him on, trying to see if he can really overcome this big bad monster, But what I learned from matches like this is that if you fighting a guy twice your size can be difficult at times. And that's when you really learn much about yourself, like your fortitude, your grit, your determination, your passion. And to see a guy like PJ Black wrestling a guy that's twice his size, that's bigger than him, shows how much grit he has, how much passion and toughness he has. And why wouldn't you want to cheer for a guy like that?
Yeah. And the fact that now you're from the Bay kind of makes it even better, because at this time here he was billed from Johannesburg. When he was in WWE, he was billed from Cape Town. Yeah. So now when people announce your name, they're going to show you billed from the Bay.
The Bay, yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, those forearms look stiff.
Ooh, they do. A guy that size. I've seen Joe Legend in person. He's a really big guy. Yeah. So I can't imagine what it. I refereed his match with Mr. Wrestling at the Wrestle Monster in 2022. Yeah. Yeah, he was such a humble guy. He's a bad guy in the ring. He was tearing Mr. Wrestling apart. I was a referee for his match, and he was a big guy, intimidating, but a really great wrestler.
Awesome. Yeah. After the break, guys, we're going to delve a little bit more into Sivu's experience as a referee, and then we've also got a special message for him as well. Please stay tuned. Guys, welcome back to Off the Top Rope. I'm with my guest, the Starman. He mentioned before the break that he was also refereeing in some of the matches as well. Sivu, do you think that refereeing some of the matches before you got into before you became a performer, helped you in terms of your ring space and where people are and how you communicate in the ring?
Being a referee gave me a chance to get the experience of being in front of an audience and being in the ring. Because the first time I refereed was actually my very first wrestling show overall. I never attended a wrestling show in my life.
Right.
So to get that chance to be a referee for such a big event was such an honor. I knew that being given this opportunity was my chance to show that how much I love this business, how much I want to actually be here, how much I want to work my way up. Because Mr. Beal said it himself. You start in order to get to the top. You got to start at the very bottom. And being the referee was my chance to show that hey, I can work, and I can be trusted to be in that ring in front of people and not make a fool of myself, and to learn all sorts of things like ring positioning, how to be in the ring and to like call the action and see how the wrestlers move and how everything is just going within that ring, because it's chaotic in that ring. It really is. So being able to get that experience as a referee before I became a wrestler was quite an enjoyable experience. So I really appreciated every opportunity that I got to be a referee, because it molded me for me to be able to wrestle and get comfortable inside that ring in front of a crowd.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now, speaking of that, now, control room, if you can, we like to get a personal message from one of your biggest supporters. Just to give you words of encouragement and things like that. Control room, if we can cue that one up, Sivu's message, please.
What's good, everyone? My name is Lesedi, and I'd like to think that I'm a good friend of Starman. I could be wrong. He does talk to a lot of people. I met him in 2021 in college, but we only became friends in 2022. And he irritates me intentionally every chance he gets, and he finds it absolutely hilarious. But I wouldn't trade him for the world. He's reliable, he's funny, he's trustworthy, he's witty, he's a good listener. He's just a simple guy with a love for the finer things in life. He absolutely adores his parents and his sisters and his dogs back home and his friends. He's just a lover of life, a lover of fun. He's always trying to just be a better him for a better tomorrow. Yeah.
From a fan standpoint, now it's the person in the street and hey man, you had a good match and things like this. But I mean, when you get messages like that and support like that, does it steal your resolve to make sure, hey man, I need to put in 10 extra squats because of you're getting messages like that?
Well, it's really encouraging. It's heartwarming to know that it's not only just fans that support you, it's people that you know, that you love, like your friends, your family. Like, it's always heartwarming, it's always encouraging, it's always, driven me to want to be better, because I know that I've got people that are behind me with this dream. Because I always felt like with this dream, I always felt like I was doing it on my own. I felt like I was going through this journey by myself and nobody's supporting me. So to have that kind of love and support, as it's really humbling. Mm-hmm. It's driven me to be where I'm at right now in life, to have a bigger perspective. It's made me want it more. It's made me hungry for it, motivated for it. So to hear words of encouragement from friends and family, it's just, I can't even put it into words, because it really warms my heart. It really has pushed me to want to be where I want to be, and that's the very best that I can possibly be, and to make them proud.
Right. So now, going back to matches and things like that, if there was one match that somebody said to you, hey, listen here, I want you to be in that match, and you're like, guys, I don't think I want to go through with that particular match. Which is the match you don't want to do?
Oh man, that's actually a really good question. I'm not sure. To be honest, if there was a match that I wouldn't want to do, is like a hardcore match, the way I have to put myself through the worst, like putting myself through glass and barbed wires and flaming tables, all that stuff, because I don't need to do those things. Like for me, I've always enjoyed the technical side of wrestling, just keeping the action in the ring, being able to tell a story within the ring instead of trying to put your body through unnecessary stuff. Because to me, that's not wrestling. Wrestling is being able to tell a story. It's an art.
Right.
It's a way of being able to show the audience what we are able to do, and that's perform and put on a show for it and entertain people instead of putting ourselves through the worst and being able to shorten our careers, because we all want to have like a long career in this business because of how much we enjoy it. We want to be able to stop it when we are satisfied with our careers. And for me, my health has always been something that I've considered for the longest of time, because I want to do this as long as I can and be able to end it on my terms.
Right, right. So what you're telling me is no WLC?
Nope. No, no, it's not WLC. Come on. I'll do like with those 1 or 2 ladder matches. You know, I do enjoy those ladder matches because they are kind of exciting, and you know, I like just the action and the adrenaline of the entire match. But you know, I will try my best not to do anything stupid. You know.
Right. Yeah. So where can people get a hold of you? Where are your social media tags and things like that if they want to friend you or follow your wrestling career?
Well, they can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Those are the 2 social media platforms that I'm at my strongest, where I'll post wrestling content on my stories, on my posts, and I'll share my passion, my love for wrestling. Because at heart, I am still a fan of professional wrestling. I'm a fan because I've loved this. I always tell people wrestling is my first love. It's my first love of life. It's literally the first thing I ever watched on TV. It's something that I grew up watching. Anyone that's ever known me, that's ever met me in my life, has known me for loving wrestling. So for them to, you know, see that I am actually training to become a professional wrestler, I am a professional wrestler, it doesn't shock a lot of people, but at the same time, they've always knew in a way that you're going to do this and you're going to be great at it because of your love and passion for it.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. From the Bay, right here in Nelson Mandela Bay, we are going to be featuring a lot more of the trainees that we've got in the center. But Starman, we'd like to thank you very much for coming through, showing us and sharing with us your passion, and seeing you on the big stage, man. We're looking forward to it.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I would love to come back for another episode. I would really like to have another match, hopefully, in the near future, because I just enjoy performing in front of the people. The one thing that people in B need to be reassured all over the country is that Starman will put on the show that you'll never forget, because he will give it his all for each and every single one of you.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Off the Tope Rope, uncensored, uncut, and stumbling over his words, because apparently that's what we do. We'll see you next week. Enjoy.